Hello there, book bosses. It is Abby here, and I'm here for a brand new series here inside our Book Boss Academy. How exciting is that? So, what is the series? Well, ever since I started the Book Boss Academy, I have been creating low content, medium content books, and high content books as part of our training here inside the Academy. I've also sometimes created the odd book just to show you step by step how to create a book and how to create each page and how to go about creating it. But what I wanted to do in this series is called the Build a Brand series. So this series applies to you whether you are in the Book Boss Academy or whether you are in the Book Boss Masteries program. This series is for you both, and that's why I wanted to do this series. I'll be creating a new video as a part of this series every single week until I feel as though there's nothing left to say. So I don't want to tell you how long this series is going to be, but it is basically me creating a transparent brand from scratch. Yes, I want to walk you through the entire process of how to build a brand. As we've seen on Amazon, there's been lots and lots of changes that have happened very quickly over the last 12 months. And the book publishers that are having the biggest success, we can see with our own eyes using Publisher Rocket, Kip Scout, all those things, we can see that the publishers building a brand are having the biggest success. The publishers building book series are having the biggest success because Amazon promotes your other books if someone buys one book in a series. And if you are following a brand, especially, you will get emails from Amazon saying this brand has just released this new book. So you are very likely to have better long-term success if you build a brand. Now, you have to be patient at the very beginning of your brand because this isn't a one-hit wonder. A lot of the books that I created over last year, especially my high content books, like the how-to books and the solve a problem books. I created some books on ADHD, some books on AI writing and AI books. Those books are doing really, really well, but they're one-hit wonders. They're really not part of a overarching brand where there is going to be some sort of brand recognition and where your customers are going to want to follow your brand. So this first video, I want to talk about how I've come up with my brand concept. I don't show my books as part of the Book Boss Academy because when I did do that, there was like 6 people created a book very similar. So I've only so far shown the books that I have created as part of the Academy, as part of like a training module, but I've never shown my books before. So I wanted to create a brand new book series, a brand new book business, a brand new book brand, and I wanted to be completely transparent about it. Now, I don't know how it's going to go. I'm going to be building this brand for at least the next 12 months. If in 12 months' time I say, oh, goodness me, that was a total waste of time, you'll be able to follow me on this journey, which I find really exciting and fascinating. And also, you can give me your input and your thoughts if you think, oh, it would be better if you did this, Abby. You know, I'm keen to know what you think as I'm building this brand because you can build a brand about anything, can't you? We've got brands that are very conservative, very beautiful, very artistic. Then we've got brands that are, you know, cheeky and naughty. We've got cute brands, Coco Wyo with Vivi Tinta. You know, there's all different kinds of brands, Publications International, New Seasons, Brain Games. That's a brilliant brand. If you don't know that one, have a look at that one. Then we've got Creative Haven, creating a brand of beautiful colouring books, all with very similar looking covers. So you can recognize that brand. And that's kind of what I wanted to do. And so if you've got any other ideas that you want to throw in my pot and throw my way as part of this series, then I'm all ears. I'm open to all ideas. Just throw them at me and I will execute. Okay, so this first video is about brand concept. If you're building a brand, you need a brand concept. And if you're really, really excited about building a brand, come and join the Brand Masters program because you get one-to-one coaching with me. We do calls twice a month where you can ask me your questions. I can help you to build your brand, to build your website, to grow your email list, to have your social media channels, and I can give you ideas of content and help you all along the way and hold your hand every step of the way. So that's Brand Masters program. If you want to come and join that and build a brand with me, there's a module here inside the academy. Just scroll down all the modules in the classroom, and there's one with a black cover with gold on it, and that's the Brand Masters program. Come and join us. And as soon as you join that, you'll then get access in the calendar tab to our Brand Masters live calls, live coaching calls. Okay, so this video is about coming up with a brand concept. How do you come up with a brand concept? And I've had some people saying, what should I call my brand, Abby? I don't know what to call my brand. Well, the answer to that is you need to come on a coaching call with me as part of the mastery program, because I can't just say, hey, call your brand this. I myself am going back and forth and doing research on brand names. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of coaching to get the correct brand name. And honestly, even with my brand that I'm developing now, I don't have a correct name. I might change it next week. I'm still thinking it's not quite right. It still needs to, it's good, but it still needs to be more memorable, for example. It's very difficult to come up with a brand name that tells people what your brand is. Not that Coco Wyo does, so it doesn't have to do that, but it is good if it tells people what it is, like Brain Games. But it's also good if you have a brand name or a brand concept that is memorable, fun, quirky, unusual. So it's very difficult to get those two things matching together when you're building a brand. But like I say, not that you have to. We've got Coco Wyo, Vivi Tinta. Vivi Tinta means, I think it means a colourful life. So how cute is that? I thought that was a perfect brand name for a colouring book brand. Right, anyway, I'm going to share my screen and walk you through how I came up with this brand. Super important, because you can't just think, well, you could just think, oh, I'm going to build a brand about Sudoku puzzles and call it Sudoodle, Sudoodle. Just off the top of my head, you could do anything you want to. But ideally, we want to build a brand where we've got some sort of market idea that the market actually wants this brand, that the market is actually going to be demanding the types of books that we're selling. Now, that's not to say that you're going to release a book, another book, and your first 20 books even, and make any money. So you have to be really patient when you're building a brand. But if you know that you are creating books where there is a market demand and you are going to do it very well, very high quality books at a very premium level, then you've got a really great, strong foundation on which to build your business. So this is how I wanted to build a very strong foundation on the business that I envision. Certainly over the next 12 months, I'll take a view on it in 12 months' time. 12 months' time from the 1st of July, I will be saying, was it worth it? Building this brand, am I going to carry on with it? So yeah, I'm going to share my screen and talk about brand, how to come up with a brand concept. A lot of people they create a couple of books, then they come up with a name that they kind of like, and then there's not much effort and strategy really gone into that, is there? That's what I see happening quite a lot. So hopefully, you will learn a lot from the way that I'm putting this brand together. Not that it's perfect, not that Abby does things perfectly by any stretch of the imagination, but I think you'll learn strategically how you come up with a brand. So this is what I did. to come up with this brand. I've gone to Amazon.com. Ideally, you would go to Amazon.com in an incognito window. Here I am on Amazon.com. I'm going to go to books and press the return button. And now I'm going to look at the best sellers. I want to know, what does the market love right now? And I'm going to create a brand around a concept or an idea that I know the market is loving right now. Now, I also want to think long term. So if the market is absolutely loving, I don't know, the World Cup 2026 books, well, I'm not going to build a brand around that because it's not got that longevity. I want a timeless brand where I can build my business, build it up over, ideally over the next 10 years. That's my goal, to build it and build it and build it over 10 years. And to get to the point where I am, being able to create spiral bound books, have books in stock, and have an amazing publishing business. That's my future vision, possibly in 5 years' time. So I want something that's going to stand the test of time. So I'm going to go to bestsellers here and bestsellers print. And I have already decided, because I've got a seniors book brand. I've done a lot of medium content books. I've got a lot of high content books. I have done some colouring books along the way, but I've decided I want to build a colouring book brand, because that lights me up. Now, my high content books are certainly paying me every month. I'm really glad that I create those books. They are high content books that are solving a clear problem. That's the way I've gone, but I've not really built any brands. I've built a few series up along the way, and I've got a seniors book brand that is a puzzle book brand. So what makes sense to me now is to ask myself, what lights me up? What do I enjoy? What could I see myself doing for the next 10 years? Creating these high content books is very easy. It's quite challenging, but I don't really enjoy it. It's not making my heart sing to think of like the next, how to use AI as a beginner, as a teenager. It's not really floating my boat to really think about building a book brand for AI for teenagers, even though that would be brilliant. And my books in that category are doing really well. I just can't see myself building a business and a brand around that. So I want you to ask yourself, what lights you up? What floats your boat? What brings you joy? What makes you want to come and sit at your computer and do the work? What makes you feel as though, oh, I better do that book. I better get that book done. And for me, it was, the high content, ADHD, AI, teenage life skills, all those kinds of high content books that I've been creating. Great. I did enjoy creating them, but it doesn't make my heart sing. What does is being really creative with visuals and images. So I've decided I want to build a colouring book brand. So I'm going to go to the bestsellers here, crafts, hobbies, and home. And I can see the bestsellers here in crafts, hobbies, and home. So I'm going to look here, and I'm also going to look in this category on the left, colouring books for grown-ups. In my vision, I want to create colouring books for adults and also have series for kids as well. In my longer term vision. So I don't really want to just be looking at colouring books for grown-ups. I'm going to look at them all. So I'm going to look here at the main colouring books, because there's a lot of colouring books now that kids could enjoy, and adults and seniors and teens. Ideally, I want to capture a wide market like that, or at least teens, tweens, adults and seniors, and then do a whole different category or series specifically for kids. That's my vision, because I don't just want to park myself in one lump. So I'm not going to call my brand, senior colouring books, because I would be stuck then with senior colouring books. I want something a bit broader than that. So we can see from the bestsellers here, can't we? First of all, this one stands out to me. And you know, I've been talking about these spiral bound books before that I want to create some in the future. But what I see here, number 4 best selling in the whole category of crafts, hobbies, home, is large print, color and frame, easy color and frame. And let me see, when was this published? Let's have a look when it was published. Da, 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 da. 2020. So it's published in 2020 and it's now 2026. And this book is still in the top. Well, it's in the top. Is it in the top 5? In the top 10? Yeah, and it's in the top 5. That's incredible. And in fact, let's just look at the sales on that. Or the very rough sales on it. But you know, it's probably going to be more because they're going to be across different countries and also different platforms as well. Oh, we can't see the sales on that because they've put it through Amazon FBA. Of course they have, because it's spiral bound. So that's absolutely fine. But we know it's going to be doing really well. If we look at this one, we can see the sales on this one, and we know that one's doing even better than this one. So let's have a look at this one. So this is roughly, oh, this has gone through Amazon. Oh no, 93,000 a month, right? So this book here is bringing in sales of even more than 93,000 a month just for that one book, which is incredible, isn't it? So there's that one, large print, easy, color and frame, calm, stress-free. That is hitting or ticking a lot of boxes here on Amazon. On Amazon, you've got your stress-free, your relaxation books is a category of its own. You've got your colouring frame books, which is a category of its own. Then you've got large print. There seems to be a big demand for large print. So that is hitting and ticking a lot of boxes there. Also, it is spiral bound, but anyway, we won't bang on about that. Then we've got the Coco Wyo one here, Coco Wyo, Coco Wyo. Not looking so much at theirs. They have built such a big brand and such a big following that, yes, of course, they're going to be in the top 10. But I'm very interested in this one because it was published in 2020. So it has had consistent long-term sales, and there is a consistent long-term demand for this kind of book. So I'm interested in that one. Then we've got this one, Wildflower book, and that's just number 13, The Way of the Wildflower. So that's interesting that that's in people's minds, flowers. Then we've got Coco Wyo again. We've got a children's ABC book. I don't really want to do that. Then we've got another one, large print, stress-free, colour and frame. Again, it's your large print. It's your spiral bound. It's colour and frame. It's stress-free. So we're just looking down here, and this is how I'm showing you that I've come up with my brand. And we're not particularly in the colouring book realm here, but we have got a lot of colouring books still in the top 100. So we've got mindfulness. We can see that people really want to feel nurtured, calm, relaxed, anti-stress. This is a huge, tick box. We get these keywords that we can put on a notepad at the side of us as we do this task. Bible, colouring, Psalms. We know Bible, Christianity is a big one. I'm not going to go down that route as I'm not a massive religious person. So that probably wouldn't be the best brand for me, but that would be an amazing brand for somebody to create a relaxation colouring book brand that's Christian, or, well, yeah, I would say any religion, but yeah, maybe spiritual. So we've got Colour by Numbers, very popular here, and this isn't a massive book brand, Pixel Colour Artist, very nice. Reverse colouring book, I'm not going to do that because I tried to do one last year and I absolutely hated every second. So reverse colouring book brand is off the cards for me. Simple art, so people want simple and easy. Then we've got flowers here again, 100 flowers. Then we've got some of these. Again, this is a stickers one, so I'll ignore that one. Colour by number is very popular here. So that's another colouring book one. Let's have a look down here. Crochet, stress relief, cozy summer. So cozy, stress relief, relaxation, all that kind of thing. Sticker paintings, ocean animals. Let's quickly look on page 2, very quickly. Another colour and frame in the forest. Again, spiral bound. Let's see when that one was published. 2015. That is absolutely insane. I mean, that company has been going a long time. New Seasons is part of Publications International. Huge, huge, huge book brand, making millions. Not like your fan base brand like Coco Wyo. It's more of a trustworthy, solid publication brand, a bit like Penguin Books, Hay House, that kind of thing. But they only do colouring books, sticker books, fun books, entertainment books, puzzle books, brain games books, and that they're doing sort of hunt the image, hunt the word, detective and murder type murder mystery books as well. That's their forte. So that's interesting. That one is there. We've got a nostalgic word search for adults and seniors. So that's my other brand. I've got a seniors book brand, and it's very much that sort of a book on my other book brand. But I've been building that now for about 8 months. Going down here, how to draw, stress relief colouring book. And that's another publisher, Kaito Fox, stress relief. Then we've got mindfulness colouring book for adults. Bible word search, criminal mind puzzles. Live, laugh, F off. So this is very much in demand. Laughing, they've got the florals, it's relaxation, and it's swear words. So I like the juxtaposition there between the pretty florals and the unexpected swear words. I think that's a pretty genius book there by Pink Stylish Press. So I could create like a swear word book brand and do all different things with swear words, the naughty ones, and then these juxtaposed beautiful ones, but with some swear words in there. That would be a really great brand to develop. Human anatomy is very popular. Possibly not for me, but this is a very popular category. I think there's very much room for that to be transferred into animals and pets, and also kids ones, like basically learning different parts of the body. In fact, what's he called? I got this wrong before, and I was talking about this on one of our calls. Peter Andre. His wife is a doctor, and she has published a children's book all about the different body parts. And you can see already, that is going to be really popular. And also, she's popular as well by him through knowing him. Okay, patterns, 100 amazing patterns. So we've got patterns that are popular here. So we've got florals and patterns, colour and frame, swear words, relaxation, mindfulness, all of those keywords, we would write them down on a notepad and do all of this for the top 100. Literal humour, that's really good, isn't it? A funny colouring book. Not actually seen that one before. That's good to look into. So you could, the sweary words one with juxtaposed with florals. Sorry, that's my cat behind me. You could create a book brand like that, but also with some colouring books that have got humour in them, so it doesn't have to be swear words. So that would be a really great brand, wouldn't it? So that's that. And I'm just going to quickly go over to adult colouring books for grown-ups. Oh God, the cat is chewing my foot now. This isn't ideal. I'm gonna try and concentrate. Okay, we've got colour and frame. Let's go quickly down there. Ocean scenes, colour and frame, Coco Wyo, mindfulness, stress relief, girl moments, simple art. So simple, easy. We've got the florals. We've got the colour and frame again. Cozy summer, simple stress relief. Ouch. My cat is a kitten, by the way. I would be very concerned if he was fully grown and doing this. Another colouring frame there, stress relief, colour by numbers, very popular stress relief. There's the swear word one, mindfulness one, bold and easy. Spooky one starting to come through. We're moving up to Halloween is going to be coming quite soon. So there's a lot of people preparing for that. Food and drinks and sweets, you are awesome. Calmness, good vibes, stress relief, silly crimes, and then we've got another mindfulness colour and frame. Ouch. Oh, sorry, guys. I might have to put him out. I'm going to have to put him out. He's too naughty. Come on, Moon. We're not staying in here with me. Come here. No, no, no. You're going out. Oh, got to see Moon. Here he is. Here's little Moon, you little naughty boy. Go out. Out. Right, I can concentrate again now. He was chewing my toes. Where were we? So we're on 51 to 100 of colouring books for grown-ups. So we can see all the similar things that this market is wanting. It's colour and frame, stress relief, swearing, humour, relaxation, florals, all the other things that we saw, paint by numbers, pixel art. Let's have a look down here if we can see any other ones. Colour by numbers, gardens, florals, fairies, cute animals, cute and groovy, relaxation. I think that is in the wrong category, that one. Don't know what's happened there. Tattoos, that's an interesting one. That could be like a whole brand, couldn't it? All different tattoos. Girls' Day, self-love, nature colouring book. That would be interesting to look into this brand here, Creative Journey. We can very much create colouring books like that using AI. Cozy and cute, fuzzy life, girl moments, into gardens. We've got gardens, florals, badass mother puzzler, mixed puzzles for mums. That's interesting. That's quite new, I think, in the top 100 there. Patterns, butterflies, vintage flowers. There, whimsical wonders. We've got a lot of these botanicals, flowers, vintage flowers in the top 100. Cozy girl, stress relief, all that kind of thing. Then there's another swear word one. Easy colouring book. That's Jade Summer, very popular book brand there. I'm more interested in the ones who haven't got a fan base social media following. Cozy Japan, that's brand new, isn't it? Not seen that one before in the top 100. There, that, and then we've got another pixel color art one, a retirement activity book. That's not so much a coloring book. Color Quest, that's another color by numbers, very popular. So going back to that, I had already done that activity about 4 weeks ago when I decided to do this series on transparently building a brand together with my audience. So what I decided from looking at the top 100 there's only a few different ones that I haven't seen before. I decided that I was going to do a colour and frame brand. So that book brand that's published those colour and frame books, they've been going for decades. They've published some of those books back in 2013, 2015, and they are still selling every single month. Yes, they would have had to build that brand up to get it to a level where they're getting consistent visibility and sales on a big brand now, but I thought there's consistently demand for colour and frame books, as well as a lot of those other books like Paint by Number, Pixel Colours, Stress Relief, Swear Words, Humour. So I could have chosen any of those other ones as well. But I've chosen to do a colour and frame brand because of that, because I can see the market demand. And actually, I did a lot more research in other categories and on other websites just to see, about the demand for that. And I thought that will stand the test of time because people love to create something beautiful, and they love the idea of not just colouring a colouring book and throwing it away in the bin, but colouring something beautiful and actually putting it on the wall. Um, so that is why I decided to create a colour and frame brand. Now, I thought that the words colour and frame have been so used. I've got a hair in my mouth now, probably from the cat. The words colour and frame have been so used by that brand. I don't want to risk my Amazon account getting terminated by using the exact same words, colour and frame. So I went with trying to create a name for the brand. That was my first hurdle. And I am honestly struggling with this because I want something quirky and fun and something memorable. But I also want this brand to be beautiful because it's about art. It's about wall art. It's about creating something lovely and calming and relaxing and nice to go on the wall. So in a way, I had to move away from trying to create a funky, quirky name that's memorable, like Coco Wyo, that people can get on board with. And I had to go towards well, what brand will people remember the name of? But they will just love the quality of my books. They'll love the images. They'll just love the task of actually colouring it in and being able to put it on the wall as well. That's the whole idea of the book. So at the moment, I've gone with Frameworthy, but I also like Frame It, Frame It, Frame It, Frame It, Frame It. So I'm toying with those two words, but also I like wall art. But I also feel as though there's room for something more creative than that. So I'm in the process of finally deciding what the brand name is going to be. So at the moment, I've called it Frameworthy Art. And I did create my first two books in this series. And I've got one of them here. And so that's the first one that I created, Beautiful Blooms. And we know that the first one is going to be the worst one. So I know that I already have made quite a few errors and mistakes with this first book. I don't know if you can see that. Look, you can see it properly there now, can't you? Beautiful Blooms, and I've called it the Frameworthy Collection. And at the moment, I've called the brand Frameworthy Art Studios. So this is the very beginning of my brand building journey. And I'm also looking at this book and thinking, I've not got this idea of it being stress-free and relaxation. And I'm thinking, do I want it to be stress-free relaxation book? Because this is more intricate. What you get inside, just to choose one of them that you can see. Let's just choose. I've started colouring that one in. Yeah, let's have a look at that one. So you get an actual coloured page that's shaded. Don't know if you can see that. There, it's probably better there. So you can see the shading. So there's a coloured page that's shaded. And then on the next page, you get a bold version of it, and you've got a frame as well. And I'm not sure if I'm going to change the frame. At the moment, it's a gold sort of vintage frame. And once it's coloured in, it goes. And then when it goes in a frame on the wall, it looks really nice because it's a frame within the frame. So it does look really cute, even though it possibly looks a bit weird on this page. So you get a bold version of this, and it's exactly the same image. So you can see what colours and what shading that you can use from your colouring pencil set. And then on the next page is a much lighter one, and I've actually started to colour that in. So it's a much lighter one where you can't see the grey lines once you colour it in. So it looks like a personal piece of art. And you get that with each page. With each page, you then get the coloured in version, you get the bold version. So if you've got an adult with impairment, impaired vision, or like me, I need my glasses, this is probably a better one that they would do for a relaxation page. And they can also like copy the colours off the master page, or they can choose their own colours. Obviously, this is sunflowers. You probably have to stick with yellows. And then you've got the lighter, harder version of it. What's also good about it, I thought you could do it with a friend or mother and daughter is what we've been doing. So like I've been doing one page and then she's been doing the easier one. Because she said that that one stresses her out. I mean, I like doing art and intricate art. So yeah, so thinking about that, thinking about though that's my first book that I've done in the series. Um, Thinking moving on, do I want it to be more easy? Because a lot of those in the top 100 are, bold and easy, stress-free relaxation. I personally like something that if it's going to go on the wall, you don't want it to be too easy. You want it to really look beautiful and really look nice when it goes on the wall. So that's something I'm going to be thinking about a lot moving forward. I'm going to be thinking about my brand name. I just wanted to move on and get it published. So I've called it Frameworthy Art Studios. Done a little logo there. And I've also moved on to book 2 now, but I'll show you book 2 in the next video. So you'll have to wait and see where I've gone from here to book 2. In terms of sales, I'm absolutely not bothered about any sales at the moment. I'm right at the beginning of my brand building journey. So I want to concentrate and focus on building my brand and really getting it established in my head. I will get my social media channels and handles and get them all matching once I've finally decided on a brand name, because I don't want to be putting these books out under my personal profile, ideally. I might do a little bit of that, but I want it to be going under a brand. And I also want to be building that side of it, not really panicking over trying to get reviews right now for book 1, panicking over trying to get it on social media, panicking over trying to get, 10 sales. This is a long-term brand building process and a long-term vision. So I want to get a couple of series done and created and my brand solidified, my brand name. I want to get my brand website page done, an ability to join the Facebook group that's part of my brand so I can collect email addresses easily. So that is my focus, probably for the first couple of months. And then I'll turn my attention to doing social media posts and driving traffic from external sources. Once I feel as though I've got some established books that I'm really, really happy with. I mean, I'm happy with this one. I do like it. And me and my daughter are enjoying colouring them in, but there's quite a bit of refinement that I still need to do. So that's it. That's how I came up with the brand idea from the top 100 lists. It still needs some refinement. Still need to really think about, well, who is my ideal customer? Because a lot of the people on Amazon, they do want large print, bold and easy. So am I going to go all in and say, do you know what? This isn't large print, bold and easy, but it is still really relaxing and mindful to do these. And they look beautiful when they're up on the wall. So I probably take like a firm stance in intentionally not being bold and easy because we're creating beautiful frame-worthy art. But I still think it fits in that market demand. We saw so many different books that were colour and frame, so many different books that were botanicals and florals, even the swear word one. I could do some swear word ones for the wall. I could do some affirmation ones. I've got a lot of vision of what I could do to develop this series. And at the moment, I'm working on a completely different version of this that I will show you in the next video. So you'll have to wait a week to see my next video, to see where I am and to see my progress. And I'll also update you with the progress of, naming the brand and also doing a website to go with it. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's giving you some inspiration to just really think about building a solid, sustainable, long-term business that is high quality, that can grow and that can stand the test of time. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where I show you where I've gone from this book. Bye.